I'm about to show you how I'm turning ambient real estate photos into a service I can charge $500 plus for. I'm taking a full real listing, shot completely ambient with no flash, and running every single frame through AutoHDR's new Aura model. Then I'm putting it head to head against Iris V4 so you can actually see if the difference is worth selling as a premium service. This entire gallery you see here that we're gonna upload was shot entirely ambient with no flash used, just natural light. I wanna use a full gallery instead of just picking a few photos because I wanna see how consistent Aura is across an entire listing. So I got 24 photos here that should be edited, and I'm gonna run it through Aura from start to finish. So just on the new AutoHDR interface here, let's go ahead and select the Aura model. This is Aura, it's AutoHDR's new signature model. It's designed to create that high-end luxury look as if you were using a flash, but you're not actually using one. Honestly, my first time coming across something like this, so I'm pretty interested to try it out. We're gonna go ahead and upload our photos. So we'll just select the album here and select all. We'll let that upload. Okay, so I just got my photos being uploaded here. So we're just gonna go ahead and hit edit. It's gonna upload the photos for us, and in less than 20 minutes, it'll be ready. Okay, I was not expecting it to be ready that fast. It's literally been a few minutes, but oh my goodness, this is crazy. I've been in real estate photography for a while, have not seen photos edited like this. It literally looks like I used a flash. Like, look at this shot right here. Look at the attention to detail here on the couch. Just the shadow that's under it, and just light bouncing where it's supposed to, as if I really did have a flash on. Okay, this shot of the basement, just come on. Look at the neutral tones that's used. We're not showing too much diversity in the color. It's just neutral tones. It just works so well for real estate photography. Honestly, if I was a realtor, I'd be using this. I wouldn't go with just regular HDR, me personally, because it just gives more of a luxury look. Look at a couple other shots. Oh, this kitchen's crazy. I love that shadow. What a model. The fact that it just brought in all this light here because there's windows there. And then here we get to see the detail on the counter. We get to see the backsplash properly. It's not overly lit, you know what I mean? We get to see some of that light reflect right up here. Some light reflect on here. That shadow down here. Man, this model is crazy. My agents are gonna love this, I gotta be honest. So doing a proper review, right? Like in comparison to HDR, the window is more realistic. With HDR stuff, you can see clearly outside. So if that's what you're going for, this isn't it for you. But if you want more of that premium, that ultra realistic look, this is it. This is like what you have to get. If I'm gonna tell my realtors to choose between this and HDR, I'm telling them to choose this because no one else is doing this in the market. This is what makes them stand out. When you're looking at this window here, it looks nice and bright outside, which it's supposed to because it is bright outside. And that's what we really want to show, like when we're selling a house, that we can get in those bright windows. We can see that light reflect off over here. Just going back to this one, I love this one, and we're probably going to go back to this one again after this, but like just seeing that light come in and seeing how it hits the bed and then seeing the shadows down here, it just makes it so ultra realistic and premium feeling. And again, the neutral tones, realtors love that. We don't want just colors bouncing everywhere. So when we get everything to look really neutral, it just appeals to everyone, you know, to all types of sellers. We'll just quickly review one more shot. I do want to see how it handled the exterior. Oh man, this is like, if I was to step outside right now, well, it's dark right now outside, but if it was daytime and I was to step outside and I was to stand in this corner, this is exactly what I would see. Like, I would see that shadow that's over at the house. I would see the bright, half of that pool being bright. I would see the bright sky. I would see the bright granite right here, flooring, that shadow here. So it's not HDR because everyone's doing HDR, and I'm still gonna do HDR, but this is what I'm gonna sell at the premium because just look at it. I can't say too many good things about it because I'm really just doing a review of it. I can't just keep saying, oh, it's so good, it's so perfect, it's so good, but that's all I can really say. I don't really know. Just look at this pool, like so realistic, my goodness. Okay, here we go. So one thing I didn't like too much is just this exterior shot here, like full transparency here, just so you guys know I'm just not hyping it up too much. But this exterior shot right here, I feel like it would have been better if it was on the different model, if it was potentially on Iris or any other like classic model from AutoHDR. I just feel like some parts are a little too bright and then some parts are a little too dark. It is still like real estate. At the end of the day, it is still real estate photography. We do have to see a little more balance rather than like too much contrast, but the contrast on the interiors, and again, that pool shot was just crazy, like outstanding job. Okay, so this is what really matters. We're gonna go into what I uploaded and what Aura gave me. So let's go ahead and click this shot right here, and just this shot of this little table kitchen right here and this door right here looks really good, right? So I gave it the underexposed, I gave it the middle exposed, and of course I gave it the overexposed. With AutoHDR, what I'm used to is HDR, and that's what I've always done. So I would just like see crazy good window pulls coming from this really dark one. I would see shadows getting lit up coming from this really bright one. But with Aura, it uses all three brackets, but it just makes it ultra realistic at the same time. So it just has that premium feel, and I keep saying it, but it really does. We'll look at another one. We'll use this living room shot right here. So again, right here, underexposed, really trying to get that window, right? Middle exposed, closer to what you're seeing, you know, with your eyes, and then the overexposed. So what Aura did right here is it blended everything. Again, it just didn't make it too ultra HDR, ultra unrealistic, ultra edited. It just feels more sleek in that way. And same thing here with this hallway. We use this one to capture those windows, middle exposed, and of course overexposed, and then Aura just did its thing. It's just insane, man. Gonna show you guys a couple more just to really show you that, yeah, we're still shooting bracketed, and you can go, and you do have the option to go with HDR, but if your client wants to have a different set of photos too, like, you can literally do both from the same photos that you originally took. You can deliver this kind of model, or you can deliver the iris model. So we'll just go look at a couple more. I do want to pull up this dining room shot right here, just because there are some really bright areas, right? And that's what this was like limiting. And then we had this middle over. As you can see, the window was really blown out. So even then, Aura still just pulled in enough from the window. Not too blown out here, but just pulled in enough to give it that premium look. And last one, we'll just go to this shot of the front of the house. I actually do like this one. So again, this underexposed one was just to get more of the detail in the sky and stuff like that. Middle, and then overexposed to get more of those shadows that you can see over here and over here. Aura still blended it really well. Nothing else needs to really be said about it. It turned out really good, this one actually. Okay, so obviously AutoHDR has another really good model, which is Iris, and they actually have a V4 right now. So I just want to compare a few photos from the Aura model to the Iris model, just so we can see the differences here. So let's just go ahead and pull up this living room shot here, and we see how Aura did this one, right? Now we go to the Iris version, and it's a lot more HDR, right? You could see that window a lot more. A little more unrealistic, but sometimes, you know, your client wants this. Your client really wants to just see outside the window, wants everything to be nice and bright, right? As little shadow as possible. That's what the HDR is for. But this one just gives that premium feel. Look how more neutral this one looks in comparison to this one. This one's a little more vibrant, more colors showing. Again, in real estate, the more sleek look is definitely more premium. It just, you know, you could see the couch looks better here versus here, right? Little details like that, just the wall colors. Everything looks more premium on this side of it. And then same thing for the kitchen shot, right? So this is the one on Aura. And then if we go over here, this is what Iris did. You can see the difference right away. Everything's more bright, windows more pulled in, you know, lots of more light, way more light. And that's good. You can sell that. That's like your standard photography. That's your HDR. But if they want something a little more premium, a little more high end, then this is what you upsell them on that minimum $500 package. You can see the difference, right? Like, this is more of your standard HDR, and then this is something that you know you're just gonna have to pay more for, which is worth it, honestly. If I was a realtor, I'd go with this. And then we'll just pull up one more just for comparison. This bedroom shot, I really like how this one turned out, so I wanted to compare it on Iris, and this is the comparison here. You can notice, like, it's a lot more white, and you know, that window's really pulled in again, and it's a lot brighter. So some agents still may prefer this, and this is like your go-to HDR. Iris is the workhorse. It's what I run on volume. Aura is the luxury tier that I charge for. They're not competing, but they're just doing different jobs. So this is where Aura becomes interesting for me as a business owner. I added an elevated photography service to my pricing, and I'm setting the starting point at $500 per listing. I'm not selling this as an AI edit, and I'm definitely not selling it photo by photo. I'm selling this as a premium photography tier. They're not paying me $500 because I used a particular AI model. They're paying for the final presentation of their listing. They're getting a more elevated look across the property, and that's something I can position as a higher end service. The way I'd pitch this to an agent is quite simple. We have our standard photography package, and then we have our elevated photography tier for listings that you just want to show at a higher level. So they choose the tier and I deliver the service. The value they choose is just dependent on what the listing requires. So a nicer home will probably have the elevated photography, and then, you know, a more rundown home is probably just going to get the standard. Now, of course, I don't think Aura replaces Iris for everything. For my normal listings, I'll still use the base model because not every listing needs luxury level stuff. Where I think Aura really shines is when you have that beautiful, nice house that gets tons of natural light, big windows, crazy good upgrades, just a really high-end house, and you just should have some high-end photography for it. If it's got some high-end finishes, why not some high-end photos? You know what I mean? So you just kind of go with what the property says. If the property tells you that it's really nice, you show it how nice it is with the photography. So the Aura model does a crazy good job with the interiors, and it also does a really good job with the exteriors. But before delivering those to the client, I would double check the exterior shots, just because if it is really bright out and you got a really, really beaming sun and some shadows, that contrast does show a little bit more. So just like check that off before you send it off. So for me, it's not about it replacing my entire workflow. It's about adding that extra tier. So after running a full listing through Aura and comparing it to Iris and seeing how it did, you know, in comparison and how it did on its own, this is definitely a premium service. And I know a lot of agents that are going to be interested in this. I wouldn't use it for every listing, but for the right property and the right client, I think the difference is enough to justify that $500 plus photography tier. If you want 30 free credits to try Aura out for yourself, click the link in the top of the description.